What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are back with another new look rebuild, as today we got the San Antonio Spurs on tap. We're going to be doing a new look San Antonio Spurs rebuild today here in 2K22. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Dropping a like on this video helps push it out to the YouTube algorithm, so thank you guys so much for all of that. But when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs, we all know that they decided to trade away DeJounte Murray, and they're going kind of tank mode. They extended Keldon Johnson, so that's a piece you have going forward. You have Jakob Poeltl, Josh Richardson, Devin Vassell, Isaiah Roby, who they picked up off the waiver wire, Keita Bates-Diop, Zach Collins. So there's a few veterans here and there, but for the most part, this roster is super young. They drafted Jeremy Sohan, got Blake Wesley, and then Malachi Branham in the draft. They still have Joshua Primo, who is raw. So a lot of interesting young raw prospects on the Spurs roster, and for the most part it sounds like they'll be tanking for none other than, of course, Victor Wembanyama. So if we can get Wembanyama in this video, of course that is kind of the goal. So Keldon Johnson's up to a 2 overall, Devin Vassell up to a 79. I will probably be stopping in the trade deadline to trade a couple of these veterans that we do have on the roster, like Jakob Poeltl. I think if you could find a way to trade him, the trade deadline, you could probably get quite a bit for him, whether it's 2 draft picks, or I honestly think you could get 2 first-round picks for Jakob Poeltl. I feel like some team would be willing to give that up for him. So if we take a look at a rotation, it should be pretty damn bad, as we know. So this is how they want to run it this year. So I'm going to fix it how I want to run it. So I am going to run a 10-man rotation. We have Trey Jones, Josh Richardson, Keldon Johnson, Keita Bates-Diop, Jakob Poeltl, Devin Vassell, Isaiah Roby, Zach Collins, Malachi Branham, and Joshua Primo. So I actually just want to start Jeremy Sohan over Keita Bates-Diop. So I'm going to start Jeremy Sohan, and then Blake Wesley's not getting any minutes, so we definitely want to fix that eventually. Vassell, Jakob Poeltl, Jeremy Sohan. I'm cool with this for now. So I think at the trade deadline, I'm planning on moving out. I'm planning on moving Josh Richardson. I'm probably going to plan on moving Jakob Poeltl, maybe even move Doug McDermott if we can. So I actually also think I want to start Joshua Primo over Mr. Trey Jones. So that's what I'm going to do in this department. So we're going to be pretty bad this year, I imagine. So I'm just going to leave everything the way it is. I might mess with shot tendencies a little bit, because right now, Keldon Johnson, his shot tendency should be kind of boosted up. The man's going to have all the freedom in the world, so I'm going to push it up to an 87. Let me go like 85, something like that. And then Richardson's at a 59. I don't know who else I really want taking shots. Or he's at a 54, I should say. Roby's at a 59. Who else do I want taking shots? I guess it would be Joshua Primo, to be honest with you. And then I guess Jeremy Sohan as well could maybe take a little bit more shots. So we'll push it up to like a 60 or so. So we'll leave that all the way it is for now. And then Joshua Primo's I put up to a 79, 85. Okay, beautiful. Let's go ahead and submit to the end. We'll probably submit to the trade deadline, like I said. And we're going to be looking to move Jakob Poeltl, maybe Doug McDermott, maybe even Josh Richardson to acquire more draft capital and continue to suck even more. So far, so good. We're the 15th seed in the West, and we're pretty bad. But we are kind of getting the 14th seed at times, so we're kind of competing with the Lakers right now as the worst team in the NBA. So we don't want to see the Lakers get that pick. Or I guess it wouldn't be the Lakers, it'd be the Pelicans, which we don't want to see the Pelicans and the Spurs, or the Hornets and the Wizards are even worse than me. So I don't know, man. I may not get that #1 pick. I guess it doesn't really matter how bad you are. It's just all lottery luck at this day and age. So I do want to try to get worse, though, even though it's not really necessary. I'm going to be moving Jakob Poeltl just because he's on a 1-year deal, and I think a lot of contending teams would love to have a guy like him. So even like Chicago's been interested in the past. If we could get like a really good draft pick or 2 draft picks here, I'd be very satisfied with that. So we can get Luke Kennard in a first-round pick from the Clippers. We get Steven Adams in a first-round pick. So a lot of interesting options here. I kind of like the idea of getting, THT in a second. I'm good on that. Chumo Kiki would be solid. Second round pick from Brissett. You got a unprotected Lakers pick, but we'd be trading a pick, which I do not want to do. So I think my favorite one is going to be probably either this Grizzlies one or this Clippers one, because we're getting a first round pick out of it. We do have to trade a second, but then we get a 2025 swap worse with the Clippers, with the Thunder. So do I want that? Or I guess that's that pick's not that valuable. And then this is an unprotected Memphis pick in 2027. Who knows when how good that pick will be at that point. But Adams an expiring contract. If I can squeeze like another first out of them, I think I'd be very satisfied with that. Maybe I can get them to give me like their lottery protected, pick this year for this. They want I can't give them. I'm not giving you another pick. Okay. So let's say this is the package, right? And then you give me, let's say, Blake Wesley, or I'll give you Doug McDermott to help out your team. Or no, not Doug McDermott. What about Josh Richardson? He could be a really nice addition to your team. I'm trying to get squeeze another pick out of them, and then you give me, let's say, Santi Aldama. So Josh Richardson, Jacoporto for 2 picks. Adams and Santi, they do not agree. They want a couple seconds. We get another first thrown in the trade. Sign me up for that. We come away with 3 first-round picks, 2 for Jacoporto, 1 for Richardson, and the Grizzlies get better. So that's an awesome trade for us. Love that trade for us. We got trade 2 seconds and got 3 firsts. Awesome. Jacoporto gives us 2 firsts. Richardson gave us 1, I would say. So we're feeling pretty good about that. We get a pick this year because I assume the Grizzlies are good, right? They usually are. So we get a pick from the Grizzlies because that pick is lottery protected. They're a 3rd seed, so that's looking good. And I guess the other one would be maybe trading Doug McDermott, if that is even an option at this point. He is making $13 million over 2 years. I don't really know if a team would be lining up to trade for Doug McDermott, though, so we're probably just better off keeping him. So now that those 2 are gone, and this is what the new rotation is going to kind of look like. So I want to go ahead, and I made this move to try to get some of these guys in rotation. So Joshua Primo, I still want him to play the starting point guard spot. And then Trey Jones is going to go down here. So we'll have him go for like 25 minutes. So Adams will be the center for this year. Really won't matter too much. He'll be gone in the offseason. And I think I definitely want to get Blake Wesley over Doug McDermott. I think that's just how I'm going to do things. So Blake Wesley will play these last few minutes, and then Doug McDermott and all these guys will be just sitting out. So that is how we are going to run our rotation for the rest of the year. We're probably pretty bad. We're going to be pretty bad. So we got our picks at the trade deadline, which is what I wanted. And then I guess the only other thing to look at is if there's any important extensions. No. So let's just keep moving. Oh, wait, there was one. Who was that? I don't even know who that was. That was Trey Jones. Is he a free agent this offseason? Do I want to keep him around? We'll see. We'll figure out in the offseason. I'm not going to sign him now. So let's keep it going. Let's see how we finish out. So it goes without saying we were pretty bad. It did not make the playoffs. We had Keldon Johnson average 21, which is cool. Joshua Primo average 16. Not too shabby. Kind of like that. Was he efficient, though? Not really. But, I mean, with a full-time role, you kind of can expect that. Isaiah Roby, Malachi Branham had some points. Devin Vassell. So we're looking to add through the draft. We need another star here, and that is quite obvious. But as long as we can hit on our draft picks, that's, you know, how good we'll get. So we have the Pelicans going on to win the championship. So the last thing they need is that Lakers pick, and it turns into the #1 overall. And then we just probably don't have a chance. LeBron James says, I'm sick of this. I'm out of here. So he retires with the Lakers. Let's go to the lottery, man. So this is going to be the most important part of the video for us, of course, because this is, you know, this is going to determine whether we win the Wembanyama sweepstakes. So we're projected the Hornets pick, which I think that's lottery protected, so I don't think we get to keep it, which is unfortunate. But we're going to have to see if we get lucky. So I'm going to sit here and watch this whole thing because this is going to be the most important part of the video. The Pistons already jumped up into the top 4. Or wait, never mind. Wait, what did that say? Did they just jump into the top 4 or am I tripping? I don't even know what just happened there. Okay. Kingsley number 13. It didn't say anybody. It didn't say anything about anybody jumping into the top 4, but that just looked like it showed the Pistons logo and then it was the Magic. So I don't really know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it was the Bulls logo. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tripping right now. Jazz get number 11. Okay, number 10. We got the Cavaliers. Stay at number 10, please. And we got, yes, okay. So far, so good. We got 2 picks left until we get to the top 7. I imagine I don't fall to 9 or 8, which is great. I don't even know if that's possible. Thunder have number 9. As long as nobody leapfrogs, we're in good position. So Magic at number 8. Hopefully they stay at number 8. And that is going to be the case. Okay, so we are in the top 7, guaranteed. All right, so at number 7, we are going to have, let's see. I really hope we don't have a middle-of-the-pack pick. Like, the Pelicans get number 7, which means the Knicks have leapfrogged in the top 4. Okay, maybe that's not good for us. We'll see how that goes. Doesn't necessarily mean we're out yet. Spurs at number 6. Hopefully that is not us, and it's the Rockets. So that means we're in the top 4, which is great, which I'm feeling good about. So number 5 is going to go, hopefully, to the Wizards here. And it goes to the Hornets. Okay. Means the Wizards are probably in the top 4 as well, which, okay, we're at the top 4 now. So Wizards hopefully are number 4, and that is the Pistons. So the Pistons get number 4. Okay, so we're a top 3 pick. Feeling good, but I would rather have 2 or 1, obviously. So hopefully we get number 1. I want Wembanyama, and we get number 3, of course. So we miss out on Scooter and Wembanyama. Great. Okay. So that means we have Wizards and Knicks win over us, and we get the number 3 overall pick in this draft. Quite unfortunate for us. We wanted to win the Wembanyama sweepstakes, and we do not get that. We could probably trade up and draft him, obviously, but since I just, you know, was dealt the cards I'll just go ahead and stick at 3. So we'll stay at 3 and see what I can get. I'm assuming I maybe draft Derek Lively here. I don't know how good he is. I don't know really much about him, but if I'm not going to get Scooter or Wembanyama, I guess I'll go Derek Lively because we do need a center pretty badly. So let's go straight to draft night. And I'm sure I have the ammunition to trade up, of course. But again, I'm just not going to do it. So, I mean, who has number 1? I don't even know who had number 1. It was the Wizards. So I guess the Wizards could be looking to rebuild at this point, or they could be looking to retool, I guess. And I could give them like, I could see the Wizards wanting like Keldon Johnson and we get the #1 overall pick if we wanted to do something like that. We could sell our soul on that, but I don't know, man. So if we look at the mock drafts, I think I'm going to be getting Derek Lively or Scooter Henderson. So, I mean, I walk away decently with one of these guys. I'm not going to get Wembanyama, I don't think. So let's just jump in the draft. I'm not going to do anything crazy. So at #1, the Wizards are going to select, of course, Wembanyama. And that means the Knicks will probably take Scooter Henderson. That gives me Derek Lively at #3, which is quite unfortunate, but it's just the cards I was dealt. So welcome to the Spurs. We should have another draft pick in here that I wasn't even paying attention to. We have Jaden Bradley on the board. We have Chris Livingston, Jordan Walsh, Brandon Miller, Marcus Bagley. I will probably take Chris. Which one do I want? Brandon Miller. I mean, I don't know if it's going to matter too much. I'll take Livingston. I actually took him in the last video, but I don't think he ever played minutes for us. So, or he did maybe at the end. But yeah, so we walk away with the 79 overall center. Would have loved the 82 overall, of course, but it is what it is. And at #21, we have Chris Livingston. So we'll sign these two guys, and then player options. We'll accept Zach Collins, why not? And then qualifying offers, Trey Jones, Romeo Langford. So some free agents that, hey, if they come back, that's great. If they don't, no big deal. So Isaiah Roby is a free agent. Trey Jones is a free agent. All right, if we look at our team right now as it sits, you got Joshua Primoso at point guard. You have Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, and Blake Wesley. You got Keldon Johnson, Doug McDermott, and Livingston. Then you got Jeremy Sohan, Santee, and then Derek Lively and Zach Collins. So honestly, probably just looking to roll with this team again. I think what I'm going to do is we either move Blake Wesley or Branham to point guard and not resign Trey Jones. So whichever one is the better playmaker, I guess that's what we'll do. So not really sure who, well, let me see in letters wise what they got for us. So playmaking for Branham is a B-, while Wesley is an A. So I'm going to move Wesley to point guard, be my backup point guard for this team, and not resign Trey Jones. So we'll kind of have our rotation as it sits currently. And then is there anybody I'm looking to bring back in free agency? Not really. And I don't think I'm going to be signing anybody. I think I'm just going to tank again, honestly. So if we can tank for Bronny James or whatever it may be in this next draft, that's probably what we'll go for. So we'll just continue to ride the young wave. So going to player progression, and if these guys come back, great. If they don't, no big deal, but they're all back. So we're going to suck again, of course. Doug McDermott's going to ride this roster out one more time. I don't think he has much trade value, so just going to pretty much run the same roster, honestly. We're going to be pretty bad again, so I'll see you in the next draft where hopefully we win the number one overall pick. So, of course, once again, another very bad season for the Spurs, as we kind of figured that would be the case. I do want to look at the stats real quick before we see who wins the championship. So, player stats, we had 21 from Keldon Johnson, 17.5 from Joshua Primo. So, these two are doing their thing, which is great. Blake Wesley with 11. Derek Lively, I have 10, 7, and 1.4 blocks per game. So, honestly, he kind of reminds me of just kind of a Jarrett Allen mold. If that's what we're going to get out of him, that's fine. We just need to find another guy here. So, we'll see. We'll just keep it moving for now. Simulate playoffs, and we got the Timberwolves going on to win the championship over the Pistons in 5 games. So, back to the draft lottery we go. We're looking to win the #1 overall pick again. We are projected 2 picks in this draft, which is one is from the Charlotte Hornets, and then the other one is my pick. And it looks like we're not going to be anywhere close to #1 overall pick. And we are going to have the 8th overall pick. And then I think the Hornets might have kept their own pick unless... Oh, wait. It went up to 4. Okay, so we have the 4th overall pick from the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I do want to research real quick and make sure that is the case. Because if the Hornets are supposed to have that pick, if it's still protected, then not supposed to have it. So I just want to be realistic here. And we'll see if I can keep that pick or not. That pick was indeed protected, so we do not get to keep it. So we're heading to draft night with simply the, I don't know, was it the 8th overall pick that we have after having such a bad season? So we have the 8th overall pick. So honestly, we're kind of going nowhere pretty quickly. Chris Livingston was a great addition, as with Derek Lively, averaged 9 points per game. But we definitely need a more of an impact player here. So hopefully we can find a way to find a gem at number 8. So at number 8, we have Mikey Williams going, Elijah Fisher. Actually, looks like Bronny James fell to me at number 8. So, of course, I am going to indulge and take him. So, Bronny James, welcome to the Spurs. And that's kind of what we needed. So, we have our brand new point guard in San Antonio. Although I do like Joshua Primo. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, how can I be upset with having Bronny James on the roster now? So, that actually brings a lot of excitement to this team now. So, Bronny James falls to us at number 8, which means LeBron James, if he didn't retire, might have went and signed with us too as well. So, player option, you got Primo. I'm going to decline Santi Aldama, and then I'm going to bring all these guys back. And then qualifying offers, Devin Vassell, Trey Jones, Joe Wieskamp. So there is some brand new excitement in the air with Bronny James coming over to the Spurs roster. So I'm pretty excited about that. So Bronny James, probably going to be the brand new point guard here. And then maybe we could have Joshua Primo start at the 2, which would be nice. And then Keldon Johnson stay at the 3, Livingston backing him up. And then Jeremy Sohan. Or we can figure out another way. But I think I am going to go ahead and have Joshua Primo play the shooting guard now that we have Bronny James here. So we'll have Bronny James backed up by Blake Wesley. And then Brandon will back up Joshua Primo. You'll have Keldon Johnson, Chris Livingston, Jeremy Sohan, and Derek Lively. So Bronny James immediately brings some excitement here, which I'm excited about, of course. And then as far as free agency is concerned, I don't think I'll be going too crazy. Vassell's a free agent. Trey Jones is a free agent. I'm not looking to really bring him back this year. I think we have kind of our guard spot. And then Zach Collins. Do you want to bring him back as backup center? I probably do. We could go out there and technically sign like a LaMelo or something crazy like that and get very aggressive here. But I kind of just want to continue to build through the draft with the Spurs and just kind of see, you know, how we can grow organically. You have like Cole Anthony, OG Anunoby. We could overpay for Patrick Williams or James Wiseman, but I kind of like what our draft picks have been so far, and I just simply want to re-sign my guys. So I'm going to go ahead and simply re-sign Zach Collins to be my backup center going forward on a 2-year deal. Just that way he stays here. Zach Collins, welcome back. And then simply going to probably, with Devin Vassell, what do I want to do with Devin Vassell? Because I have Branham and I have Blake Wesley. So Devin Vassell, in a way, I guess we could have him play backup small forward and Livingston play the backup 4. So yeah, I think it is. I think we keep Devin Vassell as well. I'm not going to keep Trey Jones, I don't believe, but I'm going to keep Devin Vassell on a 4-year deal. So let's sign Devin Vassell back, and then I'm going to renounce Trey Jones and Santi. That way they can go play somewhere else. And then I am going to have Vassell play. Is he already playing small forward? No, he's not. So I'm going to move him to small forward, and I'm going to have Livingston play backup power forward, and he does not move. So boom. Okay, so that's our new rotation. So that is what it's going to look like this year. So we'll have Vassell backup Johnson, Primo, Malachi Branham, or we could start Vassell. I guess we could technically do that as well. But you know what? Kind of like him off the bench as my sharpshooting bench piece. So how well can Bronny James elevate us this year? I'm not really sure. That's going to be exciting to see. But I think with him coming over, this team could start to maybe elevate a little bit. And then next draft, maybe we get even better. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited with Bronny James being here. Keldon Johnson also is going to keep getting, you know, on the shorter term, or his contract's going to set to expire soon. So it's also something we might have to look into. But we're just continuing to build through the draft, and I'm excited about it. So well, no, we'll run a 10-man rotation still. 10-man rotation. It's going to be Bronny James, Joshua Primo. They want to start Devin Vassell. Okay, and then Jeremy Sohan, Derek Lively. I mean, if they want to start Devin Vassell, should we just play Keldon Johnson at power forward then? Like, is that what we should do? Yeah, I think we do. We're going to play Keldon Johnson at the 4. That way we have Vassell. Okay, so I like that a little bit better. Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Primo, Bronny James, then Derek Lively. So the roster is getting a little bit better, shaping up to be a little bit better. Jeremy Sohan hasn't developed all that much, and then Kimball Walker, and then, yeah, everyone that I want getting minutes is getting minutes. So I'm excited. I think this is definitely heading in the right direction. So let's just simulate another season and see how we do. I'm going to run a balance system, though. So Bronny James does come out and win Rookie of the Year for us, which is exciting. But I will tell you, I am kind of sick of being bad at this point. I'm ready to get aggressive and make something happen. So player stats-wise, we had 19 from Bronny James, 16 from Primo, 15 from Keldon Johnson, and 14 from Blake Wesley, 10.7 and almost 2 blocks from Derek Lively, then 10 from Chris Livingston. So yeah, I mean, I think this offseason is going to be very telling. If we get some lottery luck or just anything in general, I'm looking to get aggressive and maybe swing for a player because I'm ready to be in the playoffs and ready to be in contention with this Spurs roster. Kimball Walker retiring in San Antonio Spurs, something I would have never predicted. We are projected not that crazy of a pick. I guess we get the Chicago Bulls pick, and we also get the 4th overall pick potentially, as we do end up with number 5. We have number 11, and we have 16. So we have 3 picks in this draft. We actually have 4, 18 as well. So 4 picks in this draft, one of them being a top 5 pick. And I don't even know who's in this draft, to be honest with you. So if we look, prospect scouting, we got Tyreek Watson. I don't really know much about these guys. So I'm looking to maybe move these picks and looking to make a move, honestly. I think that's what my game plan is going to be. So staff signing, we need a couple of guys here. But I am looking to make a big move, I think. That is the game plan. That is what I have in my mind. If I can execute it correctly, that is what I'm going to do. I have all these draft picks. I have some salary. I think I'm going to try to make a trade happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a backstory for you here. So I'm looking to make a trade, and I have an idea in mind. So this certain player has been on this franchise since he's been drafted. He's been there since he was a rookie, obviously. But the team has had an interesting offseason. Not that it was their fault, but things have not gone well, and they have not been a very good team since. And that man is none other than LaMelo Ball on the Charlotte Hornets. So LaMelo is probably getting tired at this point of not being a good team. They've been a play-in team every year. Nothing's going anywhere. So you know what? I think it's time to try to snag LaMelo Ball off the Charlotte Hornets. Now, he's a 95 overall, so I don't know how easy this is going to be to trade for LaMelo Ball. It says he's available, so we're going to give it our best shot. So whatever it takes, if we can bring LaMelo to San Antonio, give Greg Popovich one last run, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So LaMelo Ball is my target here at this trade, or my first offseason target. If I could build a Bronny James LaMelo backcourt going forward, that sounds very, very intriguing and very excited. I could pair him alongside with Derek Lively, Bronny James, and kind of have a big three there. So I'm feeling pretty good about the idea of this. So I think I am going to have Keldon Johnson in the trade, and maybe even Devin Vassell. So I would be giving away two of my guys that have been here for a while, but we're looking to kind of go on a new path here. And if that's what it takes, I'm willing to do it. So, and then if I have to throw Zach Collins in here, I'll do it as well. We have the 5th overall pick, we have the 11th overall pick, and we have the 16th overall pick. I know this might be too much, but I want LaMelo Ball. This is my best offer. They do not agree to that. Fair enough. I mean, that makes sense. Okay. What if I gave you my unprotected next year? It's 2.5 star value. They don't agree to that. Okay. We're getting somewhere though. Okay. So 2.5 star value. 11 has 2 stars. Okay. Do I have another pick that has like crazy value? No. And then 2027 unprotected. It's got 2 star. And then the 16 or the 11th overall pick had 2 star as well. But they're not agreeing to that. Okay. So maybe I don't have that great of a trade package like I thought. 16, 1.5. Not going to do it for them. Okay. Unless if I traded Bronny James, I don't know if this trade happens, which I don't really want to do. Unless if we want to just go for LaMelo and move on from Bronny James this early on. Like, I wanted LaMelo Ball, but if it's going to cost this much, it's probably not going to be possible, unfortunately. So, Vassell, Johnson, I would have been willing to give both of them up if I got LaMelo, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It's going to be kind of tough to pull this off. So, unfortunate, unreal, but unless we throw Bronny James in this trade, I don't think this trade is happening. And I guess I would be willing to throw Bronny James in this trade if I was just wanting to be impatient. So Bronny James has a lot of trade value. He's averages 19 points per game. We get LaMelo Ball, but at this point, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to do this. So I'm jumping in this draft to get some more trade value because there's a certain player I've been targeting. So I'm going to take Tyreek Watson. I really don't care who I get here because I'm flipping these players for what I want. So I'm grabbing just the best available players because I have an idea in mind right now that I think is going to work out for us. So I'm going to take Trey Johnson and I'm going to simulate and I'm going to sign all those guys. So I'm going to sign all of these guys and we're coming away with pretty good players, I would say. I'm not giving up in the idea of bringing LaMelo Ball in here with this Spurs roster. So I'm going to keep it going. LaMelo is unhappy in Charlotte. I'm just going to continue to negotiate with them. So I'm going to start the trade with some of those guys we got out of the draft. So Tyreek Watson's got 3.5 star value. This is why I took these guys. You got Scott with 3.5 as well. I mean, these guys could be pretty good probably, but if I could throw them in a trade to get LaMelo Ball, I'm going to do it. So my unprotected pick is 2.5 star value. And then I'm assuming Vassell and boom. Okay. We got LaMelo Ball. Let's go, baby. So all we needed to do was get all those guys in here and we got LaMelo Ball on the San Antonio Spurs now, and we were able to keep Keldon Johnson on top of that, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And all right, so now we have a very fun backcourt of LaMelo Ball and Bronny James. So that is very intriguing and very fun. So we kept Keldon Johnson, which I expected to have to throw him in the trade, but you know what, keeping him I'm okay with. Joshua Primo is a free agent and LaMelo Ball is officially a San Antonio Spur, so that is just fantastic. Okay, now we're looking at the roster. LaMelo Ball and Bronny James is my brand new backcourt. We're aware of that. So let's move one of them to shooting guard. Bronny James will go up. LaMelo will go down. So I guess Bronny James moves to shooting guard. So LaMelo will be your point guard with Bronny James with him in the backcourt. Then you have Andre Moore at the small forward. You have Keldon Johnson, Chris Livingston, and Jeremy Sohan at the power forward. So we need a brand new small forward in the roster. That's blatantly obvious. So do I have the money to sign like a Giannis? I'm not that far off. So Cade Cunningham also here. Jason Tatum, Evan Mobley, Scotty Barnes. Like, we could definitely maybe walk away with a really good small forward out of free agency if we really wanted to. So we could just put this team over the map, over the top. Brogdon and then Patrick Williams is my brand new 3-and-D small forward here in San Antonio to kind of put it all together. Kind of like the idea of it. It is a little bit of an overpay. We could get Evan Mobley as well. We'd probably get extend or match for sure. But Patrick Williams is sitting out here, I think, is unrestricted. So I think that's who I'm going to go for. Josh Giddey would be cool as well. But if I can get Patrick Williams to be my brand new 3-and-D small forward to kind of lock things up here, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to be renouncing Joshua Primo, it looks like, which is unfortunate, but I kind of have a brand new wave here. So Joshua Primo, I appreciate your services, but at this point, I think it makes all the sense in the world to roll with what we just got. So Patrick Williams will be our small forward, I think, unless we can move Keldon Johnson there. Either way. So Keldon Johnson or Patrick Williams will be my small forward. Keldon Johnson goes down. So I'm going to move Patrick Williams to my backup or to be my starting small forward. And then we'll move Livingston or Sohan to small forward. So Livingston stays the same and Sohan stays the same. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I guess I move Livingston to the backup small forward. And this is your brand new Spurs roster. Derek Lively, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, Zach Collins, Patrick Williams, Chris Livingston, Bronny James Branham, and then Blake Wesley and LaMelo Ball. It took forever to get LaMelo, but I was on a mission to get him, and now I'm ready to roll into this next season. LaMelo Ball is finally on a team that is surrounded with talent, and this team can go out there and potentially finally get in the postseason and make a run at some things. We've not been in the playoffs once in this video, haven't even been in the damn play-in tournament. But with this team all put together, I'm confident that is about to change. The MVP goes to Luka Doncic. Derek Queen is your Rookie of the Year on the Utah Jazz. Kenny Chandler, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis Offensive Player in a Clippers uniform, which looks very bizarre. Richard Isaac is your Most Improved. And Nick Nurse, Coach of the Year. David Powell. But we went out there and we got LaMelo Ball, and he leads us to a first seed appearance here. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling on top of the world now that we went for that quick turnaround. After not making the playoffs for so long, we find a way to snag LaMelo Ball from the Hornets, who's super unhappy there. He averages 24 and 10 over here, then 20 from Bronny James. So we have a brand new backcourt of LaMelo and Bronny, which is just very exciting. And then Keldon Johnson is 16, 15 from Livingston, 14 from Derek Lively, and 11 rebounds, 12 from Blake Wesley, and then 10 from Patrick Williams, and then 7 from Malachi Branham. So I was able to pull it off, which I'm super ecstatic about. But now we get the Houston Rockets in round 1. One thing we do know about AFCs, though, they're the scariest thing in existence on 2K22. So hopefully we can just beat them and not have to sweat it out too much, and we do beat them. So that's a great start. And now we get to Utah Jazz, who have Bridges, Derek Whitehead, Josh Giddey. So they have actually a pretty good roster in Utah. They've done a pretty decent job. So game 1, we're up 1-0. Bronny James 22 and 9, 24 from Derek Whitehead. Game 2, up 2-0. So far, so good. 2-1. Can we go up 3-1? Yes, we can. Can we beat them in 5? And yes, we can. We've already on our Western Conference Finals appearance. Let's go. The Grizzlies are starting James Bouknight and John Konchar. I'm honestly not scared of this Grizzlies roster. They no longer have Desmond Bane, and this is what our roster is looking like compared to theirs. So I'm feeling on top. Well, maybe not. We do even it up. We're up 2-1, 3-1, and we beat them in 6, hopefully. Yes, we're on to the finals and play the Orlando Magic. We have Josh Hart and DeJounte. Oh, DeJounte Murray gets to play his former team. This will be a lot of fun. Greg Popovich versus DeJounte Murray. Who you got your bets on? Game 1, we're up 1-0. 25 from LaMelo. Game 2, up 2-0. Game 3, 3-0. And we're going to sweep them, aren't we? Beat them in 5? Let's go, baby. Just like that, we've won a championship with the San Antonio Spurs. So we built through the draft quite a bit in this video. 51% from 3 from LaMelo Ball. Yeah, we were building through the draft, which was fantastic. But at one point, I was getting tired of not making the playoffs. Got Bronny James. Got Derek Lively. Would have been great to have Webb and Yama on top of things, but it's all good, man. I'm going to end it there. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.